Imagine a jewel so beautiful it has captivated kings and queens, so rare it is considered priceless. Now imagine that same jewel carries a malevolent power, a curse that brings death, ruin, and unimaginable disaster to anyone who dares to possess it. Would you wear it? This is not a work of fiction. This is the story of the Hope Diamond. At 45.52 carats, the Hope Diamond is one of the world's most valuable and famous jewels. But its stunning deep blue beauty belies a dark and chilling reputation, earning it the title of the most cursed gem in all of history. For over 3 centuries, it has left a trail of madness, suicide, and murder in its wake. But is it truly a vessel of supernatural vengeance? Or is its bloody history just a string of tragic coincidences, amplified by legend and fear? To find the answer, we must travel back in time to a place of myth and majesty. Our story begins in the 17th century in the famed Golconda mines of southern India. This region was legendary, producing the world's most magnificent diamonds. The original stone, a colossal, crudely cut gem of over 112 carats, was known as the Tavernier Blue. According to the most popular legend, this spectacular blue diamond was once the eye of a sacred statue of the Hindu goddess Sita. The story goes that the gem was plucked from the idol by a thief, an act of profound sacrilege. The temple priests, enraged by the desecration, placed a powerful curse upon the stone and upon anyone who would ever possess it. The curse promised not just bad luck, but utter ruin and a terrible death. The stone eventually found its way into the hands of Jean-Baptiste Tavernier, a renowned French gem merchant and adventurer, around the year 1666. Whether he was the original thief or simply an ambitious buyer is lost to history. What is known is that he brought the magnificent blue diamond back to Europe, unaware of the dark power he had allegedly unleashed. The curse, it is said, claimed its first victim in Tavernier himself. Legend tells a gruesome tale, that he contracted a raging fever, died in poverty in Russia, and his corpse was torn apart by a pack of wild dogs. A fittingly grim end. However, historical records paint a different picture. They suggest Tavernier lived to the ripe old age of 84 and died of natural causes. This is the first of many instances where the line between the diamond's fact and fiction begins to blur. In 1668, Tavernier sold the diamond to an eager buyer, King Louis XIV of France, the extravagant Sun King. The king, obsessed with symbols of power, had his court jeweler recut the stone into a dazzling 67-carat gem. It was set in gold and worn on a ribbon around the monarch's neck for ceremonial occasions. It was now known as the French Blue, but tragedy soon began to stalk the halls of Versailles. Legend claims that the king occasionally lent the diamond to his courtier, Nicolas Fouquet, who soon fell from grace, was charged with embezzlement, and imprisoned for life. The king himself, despite his glorious reign, suffered military defeats and lost almost all of his legitimate heirs to disease before his own death. The gem remained with the French monarchy, passing to Louis XIV's descendants, who met even more brutal fates. The curse seemed to culminate with King Louis XVI and his queen, Marie Antoinette. As the French Revolution tore the country apart, the royal couple were imprisoned and ultimately lost their heads to the guillotine. During the chaos in September 1792, the French blue was stolen from the royal treasury and vanished completely. Was it coincidence or the curse at work? For 2 decades, the diamond's whereabouts were a complete mystery. It re-emerged in London in 1812, suspiciously recut into a smaller 45-carat stone, the shape we recognize today. This was likely a deliberate act to disguise its infamous royal origins. It was eventually acquired around 1839 by Henry Philip Hope, a wealthy London banking heir, giving the diamond its modern, ironically optimistic name, the Hope Diamond. But the name did little to change its luck. The Hope family suffered devastating financial ruin, forcing them to sell the gem. The diamond then passed through a series of ill-fated owners. One, a French broker named Jacques Collot, is said to have gone insane and taken his own life. Another, a Greek merchant, drove his carriage off a cliff, killing himself and his entire family. The curse was becoming more prolific and more terrifying. Its most famous 20th century owner was the American mining heiress and socialite, Evelyn Walsh McLean. She purchased the diamond in 1911 from Pierre Cartier, who embellished the curse's legend to entice her. McLean, a woman who courted spectacle, scoffed at the stories. She flaunted the gem at lavish parties, even letting her Great Dane wear it, but her defiance could not hold back the tide of tragedy. Her 9-year-old son died in a car accident. Her husband Ned descended into alcoholism and madness, dying in a mental institution. Her family's newspaper, the Washington Post, went bankrupt. And finally, her 25-year-old daughter died of a drug overdose. McLean herself died in debt, never parting with the jewel she called her jinx. So what is the scientific truth behind this infamous stone? Gemologists explain its rare blue color is caused by trace amounts of the element boron trapped within its carbon structure. But its most mysterious quality is its phosphorescence. After being exposed to ultraviolet light, the diamond glows a startling, fiery red for several minutes, an otherworldly property that has undoubtedly fueled centuries of superstition. Skeptics argue the curse is a brilliant marketing ploy, a myth crafted by jewelers to increase the stone's mystique and value. They claim the tragedies are simply the dramatic, often messy lives of the ultra-rich, retroactively connected to the diamond through confirmation bias. After McLean's death, her jewelry collection was purchased by New York jeweler Harry Winston. After touring it for several years, he made a surprising decision. In 1958, he donated the Hope Diamond to the Smithsonian Institution. In a final, anticlimactic twist, he sent the priceless cursed gem to the museum through the U.S. Postal Service in a plain brown paper box. Today, the Hope Diamond rests safely behind thick glass, its curse seemingly neutralized. Millions of visitors gaze upon it each year, captivated by its beauty and its dark history. The Smithsonian reports no curse-related incidents, no tragedies befalling its staff or the building. It has become a scientific specimen and a national treasure. But for believers, the story isn't over. They insist that the sheer weight of its blood-soaked history cannot be dismissed as mere coincidence. The pattern of ruin, madness, and death is too consistent, too chilling to be ignored. They argue the diamond is not neutralized but merely dormant, waiting. So is the Hope Diamond truly cursed by a vengeful goddess? Or is it simply a priceless jewel, its terrifying reputation a product of embellishment, tragedy, and the human need to find meaning in chaos? Is the curse a phantom of our own making, or is there a genuine malevolence trapped within those deep blue facets? One thing is certain, for many who once wore it, the price of its beauty was their very soul. The question that remains is, would you be next? If you're fascinated by cursed treasures and haunting mysteries, don't forget to subscribe for more chilling stories every week.